Now, let's get on with the show. So the theme of this conference is really about delivering value in a challenging market. And we know that's why all of you are here. You're here to understand what's happening with the technology. You're here to understand how your peers are using the technology, but you're really here to understand how people are getting value out of the tools and workflows that you're implementing at your own organizations. This week is a great opportunity for you to share those ideas, those workflows, and those concepts that you've been working on over the last year. Now, from Esri's point of view, we brought over 60 people to the conference this week. So you have any questions, you have concerns, you need something answered, some button is not working in ArcMap, you need to come see us. We want to help you out this week. But the other thing is that you guys have been doing some really neat stuff. Whether it's been in the pipeline industry, through midstream work, by monitoring how conditions are, from new inspections in the field, managing and monitoring offshore vessel movement, and really, probably more this year than ever, is integrating GIS into your operations. We have some great presentations that are going to show how some other companies are using our technology to help improve workflows and improve their field operations. But lately, it's been more about getting data out into the field. I bet a lot of you are here to understand how people are using mobile applications. Whether it's how you manage and monitor where your workforce is, collecting information, and now actually navigating people to individual wells. There's probably been a big shift in your own workforces that figuring out where wells are and who's working for you is probably something that this is probably a big issue that you're all being asked to solve. This work that you're doing is really making a difference within your organization. Now, we also talk a lot about what you're doing, but even our partners are actually starting to think about how they're deploying applications faster and quicker to you. Earth Analytics, with their new tools built directly on Web App Builder. OSIsoft, how they've integrated into real-time data, monitoring real-time conditions, as well as able to go back and see how things are happening in the past. Especially with RPSA, their new tools for oil map spill trajectory that allows you to pull that data right into your system as soon as the tool is run. And the last one of my favorites, is Expertat, who have taken their entire tool set that they've built on Web App Builder and have made those tools directly available through the marketplace. Now it's one place for you to easily go and see applications that you can bring down and start using immediately. Over the next few days, you're going to have an opportunity to hear how people are using this technology, how it's improved their workflows, and really how they're making a difference. But first, before we get into some of that stuff later today, I want to introduce my friend, Damian Spangler, to come on stage and talk a little bit about how Esri's been doing as far as technology, and also show you some new and exciting tools. Damian, welcome.
Thanks, Danny. Thank you all for coming. I'm Damian Spangler. I'm the Director of Solutions at Esri. I know many of you over my years here at PUG. Today I want to talk a little bit about applying geography everywhere, which is actually something that's core to our business and core to many of what you do every day. We have a vision that applying geography everywhere makes a difference. It makes a difference to the bottom line, it makes a difference to our health as a society, it makes a difference to us individually. Now, our world is increasingly challenged. This should be of no surprise to most of us. Whether it's resource constrained, population pressures, social crisis, there are many challenges in this world. But what we found is geography is the integrating science that allows us to look across these challenges for solutions. In fact, geography is the integrating science bringing together many of the other sciences: biology, ecology, geology, petrology, history. Geography is the common language they have to be able to communicate across the space of science. It provides the context and content for everything that we do. This really helps us address these global challenges and our local problems. Now, within geography, GIS provides the framework and process for addressing these challenges. From using science and observations, to predicting and modeling the possible outcomes, using your analysis and interpretation to start to understand those models, and as a result, executing on planning and policy, making a final decision, and finally acting. This cycle repeats. In fact, many of you use this every day in everything that you do. This understanding that this creates becomes essential for everything we do and creates much more integrated decision-making across our entire organization. Now, fundamentally, GIS continues to evolve in many different ways, whether it's technology with the Internet of Things and cloud computing and smart devices. I mean, there are more devices in this room than there are people right now. Every one of us is a sensor. Every one of us expects connectivity. But also content has evolved, from using drones and LiDAR, to using crowdsourcing, to using new survey methods, to using persistent surveillance satellite imagery or high availability, being able to see it again and again, multiple days. But applications have changed as well. We expect more analytics. We expect more connectivity. We expect things to be more collaborative. And increasingly, we expect things in 3D. And across the industry, well beyond just GIS, the implementation patterns have changed. It's more about agile, moving quickly, being able to configure rather than build custom, make it ready to use, quick wins, but also make it open and accessible across the system. Out of all of this, we see a new pattern emerging we refer to as WebGIS. Now, WebGIS is transforming GIS. GIS, from the beginning, has been a system of record. You maintain your assets, you update them, you manage them, you do analysis on them. Many of you also use it as a system of insight to do analysis on your work and figure out what the patterns are. But what we see emerging is, while the systems of record continue to grow and are a vital part of everything that you do, increasingly, we need a system of engagement. A system that allows others across your organization, and sometimes others outside of your organization, to engage with that data. So they're connected to it, their agile response to it. They feel that it's part of their environment. This is really integrating existing systems, creating a system of systems that brings together this information, creating an overall system of engagement. Now, WebGIS actually empowers the GIS professionals as well. Your work as a GIS professional is much more than just the desktop. Your work as part of a WebGIS means that you have access to apps, content, and ways to share this information in a collaborative environment out to other workers in your organization, executives, casual users, and even open data community within your organization or beyond. This allows you to empower everybody, giving them the geographic advantage within your organization. An interesting side effect of WebGIS has been WebGIS helps integrate organizations, allowing people to move from segmented stovepipe data into a network collaborative model. Now, some of us are old enough to remember that you might have seen a similar diagram to this about 15 years ago. But the concept then was you put it all in one database. But the reality is it's rarely practical. You have too many different systems, too many different departments, and frankly, too many different personalities to make that come to life. But in a WebGIS, you don't need to move it all into one system. It becomes a system of systems where they are connected through services. So everybody can own their own systems, and the integration is the map. Geography is the integrating factor and allows you to build this connected system of shared geographic understanding. Fundamentally, WebGIS shifts the focus, changing how we think about architecture. It's no longer just about client-server, but you think about the apps and the web services that power it. It's not just about standalone desktops. It's about connected desktops with each other, sharing information, and connected to the larger organization. And it's not that much about data models. It's about the maps that people find useful to get their job done. Increasingly, it's not about static data. It's about real-time or periodically updated data. That's constant with your business system. You're never out of date. And it's less about custom applications. It's more about simple, easy configured. And it's also, especially in the web environment, not about all-purpose applications. It's about focused apps to help you get a job done well. And increasingly, it's moving from stovepipe data to open services and open data across your organization, and in some cases, beyond. Fundamentally, you, the GIS professionals, are awakening the world to the power of WebGIS. But to do this, you are learning and applying the patterns that you are embracing and deploying. You'll see many of them shown today. You're doing amazing solution work, finding the map, the app that solves an individual problem in your organization. And one of the goals of this conference is to show what's possible, for you to share ideas, to show the pattern as you embrace forward. This integrating data and analysis and supporting a rapid decision-making is fundamental to everything we do, and I believe it is making a difference.